name's Sam Kenscher, and I am going to be presenting the Better Board Brush. So this is a problem with people who own ice rinks, or examine an ice rink, or even just work in an ice rink. Probably know about this. Probably won't apply to any of you guys, since I haven't seen you guys around there. So I work at Arctic Ice Arena. I exam the ice out there, and this is a big issue for me. So what a board brush is when the exam goes around on the first lap, as you can see there, that's what it's called, is when you go around the side. The back of it can't reach all of it, so it shoots out a little brush that gets the very edges, so it doesn't have to scrape up the sides when it goes around. And it'll it's supposed to get off all the snow. But how it works right now does not get all of it. And the problems are it misses some of it because it comes out at an angle instead of going flat. So it'll miss the stuff closer to the tire, and it'll break it often. It's a pain to replace. It's expensive. It'll just fray up the sides, and it just isn't fun to mess with it at all. So what I aim to solve is it breaking, or as often it's going to break, because it's a maintenance thing. So at some point, you would ever have to buy another board brush. Hopefully it won't be every 6 months like these. And it shouldn't miss any ice, because it'll be laying flat, and you won't have to deal with it being angled, because the problem that I'm going to solve is that. And my solution is when it comes out at the top, on the top right, it comes out at an angle, so when it hits the ice, it'll be kind of like angled instead of being flat, so it'll mess it up. But you can just add another hydraulic, because that thing has a bunch of hydraulics on it, where it'll push it down then out, which the reason that I can tell that they didn't do that is just money. It's more expensive for them to do that when they design it, so it'll bump up the cost for everything. But a Zamboni is already very expensive, so a couple hundred in there is not gonna, break the bank. And it'll allow it to touch it evenly, so it'll just be completely flat on the ice, and it'll get all of that up. And it'll be cheaper over time, because you wouldn't have to replace a brush every 6 months. So more details on it. So it'll extend down and out. So how it works right now is one hydraulic just pushes it out at an angle. It can push it down because it goes from a button. You hit a switch in the seat and it pushes it down, or it pushes it out. What I want to do is where you push the button, it pushes it down, then out, which is definitely doable. And that'll fix pretty much all of its issues, because it works as it's supposed to, except for that. And the conclusion is it'll help save a lot of money for rink owners, because they're a couple hundred, 100 to 200, depending on how nice and where you get it. So, and ice rinks are expensive to run, very expensive. So that'll help anywhere you could save money, is big help. It'll probably be more expensive up front, because the brush or the hydraulics with the brush will be more expensive, since there's an extra one in there, like I said, so it'll probably be a couple hundred more on it. But if you save a couple hundred during the year, it'll either at least even out, or you'll just save more money. And it'll just be better, because you also don't have to do the maintenance on it, which is a great help, because it's not fun to mess with that at all. But it could still break if the exam driver messes up, like he drives too close, or he slams it on an open door, because that's possible when you get too close, so you gotta make sure you maintain the right distance. Alright, and that is my presentation.